Bieber fever took over Progressive Field last night. Shane Bieber, rookie right-hander, in just his third major league start, struck out a career-high 9 in 7 shutout innings of work. And the Indians ran their win streak to 5 in a row. And during that 5-game win streak, the Indians pitching staff has given up a grand total of 6 runs. Game 2 in this 3-game weekend series between the Indians and the Tigers. Hi again, everyone. Matt Underwood alongside Rick Manning, and we welcome you in tonight to a sold-out Progressive Field. The Indians' offense, they're still clicking right along, but it's interesting, Rick, because Jose Ramirez has kind of been the linchpin so far this year, but all of a sudden now in the last 7 games, they've walked him 11 times.
Well, since we've been playing the Central Division, they know what the kind of damage that Jose can do. So what happens if you pitch around him? The guy behind him has to step up, and Edwin Encarnacion is that guy. He's homered, has 6 RBIs in his last 3 games, but also Yonder Alonso's behind him. He's going to pick it up. He hit a grand slam last night, but Encarnacion's the main culprit right there. He's the big boy. He's hitting fourth. If they want to walk Ramirez, then you're going to face the damage against Edwin.
Yeah, the Indians have won their last 2 games by a combined score of 22-0. And Trevor Bauer gets to start tonight for Cleveland. He's already faced the Tigers 3 times. He has struck out 29 Detroit batters, and he's allowed a total of just 3 runs.
He's been unbelievable this year against Detroit. You're right, 29 strikeouts in the 23 innings. Look, he had 4 consecutive multi-strikeout games, above 10, and he would have had it in his last start, except a rain delay cut his start short. At 7, he only had 8 strikeouts, but he's been on a roll. When you look at the club history, he's right up there with all the big names. Bob Feller, Sam McDowell, Corey Kluber. You can put Trevor Bauer with those faces, because I'll tell you what, he's continuing to do it. He's fun to watch out there pitch.
Left-hander Francisco Liriano will go for Detroit, so the Indians have their right-handed hitting lineup in there tonight. Alan Jensen are up next with the showstopper. We'll check in with Andre Knott, and your first pitch is straight ahead. Cleveland Indians baseball is brought to you by Who But W.B. Mason, the official office supplier of the Cleveland Indians. And by Cleveland Clinic Express Care online. Tap the app for 24/7 virtual visits.
Indians have won 5 straight. They'll try to make it 6 tonight behind Trevor Bauer on the mound, as the Indians try to also continue their dominance these last couple of years over the Detroit Tigers. Back here in center field along with Jensen Lewis, I'm Al Pulowski. Time now for our showstopper from yesterday, and that's J.D. Martinez at Fenway Park, launching his 23rd home run of the season, ties him with Mike Trout for the league lead. And oh, by the way, Boston won last night over Seattle 14-10.
Just a ho-hum 4 for 5, scored 3 times, drove in 5, triple shy of the cycle, but good at bats all day. J.D. Martinez is my pick to lead the American League in home runs. He's right on pace for that. I just wish that he would be in the home run derby in Washington, D.C.
He and Jose Ramirez, would be a lot of fun to see those two, wouldn't it?
Seriously would be.
We'll see what happens coming up July 17th for that All-Star game on Fox. Right now we go upstairs. Matt Underwood and Rick Manning have the call tonight, fellas.
I wonder if they would intentionally walk Jose in the home run derby.
Oh, they might.
I just wish he would
do it.
I wish he would switch hit. I know he's going to hit left-handed, but it'd be awesome to see him turn around and hit 5 right-handed.
Wouldn't shock me, not at all. Well, there's Trevor Bauer making his way into the dugout. He's just about ready to go, so we're going to go downstairs to Andre Knott with our Hear Right sounds of the game.
Thank you very much, Matt. You know, coming into this weekend, we all talked about how big this series was for the Detroit Tigers. They came in 5 games back in the AL Central after last night's loss. It's now 6 games. So I run around the clubhouse to find out how important it is to win within the division to this team.
That all division series are big. Obviously, it has a direct, correlation with the standings, win or lose. But, I think that, I guess the biggest difference is they seem to be kind of pushing the envelope a little bit more, I guess, a little more aggressive, not kind of in years past that, you can't fault them for the guys that had in their lineup. They would play for the 3-run home run. They got it a lot of times too, but they seem to be pushing out a little more, trying to put pressure on the other team, I think.
They have a really good athletic group of young guys, and even Martin, he's probably been around the league a little longer than a lot of them, and he's having a great year. They have Castellanos, who's an unbelievable right-handed hitter, so at the end of the day, they're still a great ball club, and they can do a lot of damage, and they do it in different ways. They don't really try to hit home runs, which is unique in this landscape of baseball, so it's a little different facing them, but at the end of the day, we're trying to beat a division team.
We can put ourselves in a good position and then go out and lose 10 straight and be in a bad position, so if you start focusing on okay, well, if we just win this series, then we're set up for the year, or we're in a good place and we can whatever, it doesn't work like that. Facing a big league pitcher tonight, facing a big league lineup, try to attack them as best we can, play our brand of baseball, and see where the cards lie.
It's a story we like to talk about. It's something fans look forward to when you've got the top 2 teams in the division squaring off head-to-head. But the players can't put any more importance on these games than they do a week from now or 2 weeks from now. You literally do have to just focus on what's right in front of you.
Come out today, go between the lines and win that ball game tonight. Worry about tomorrow. But today it's Trevor Bauer. He will be the Northern Ohio Honda starting pitcher for the Indians. Trevor is making his 16th start, his 4th start against Detroit. We told you already he's 3-0 against them this year. He's pitched brilliantly, 29 strikeouts in 23 innings. Only 18 hits, and he's on a roll, looking for win number 7, coming off a very good start against the White Sox, who went 7 innings, gave up 3 hits, struck out 8.
For the Detroit Tigers under manager Ron Gardenhire, the starting lineup looks like this. Leonis Martin leading it off. Jamer Candelario batting second. Nick Castellanos will hit third. Then Victor Martinez, Nico Goodrum, and James McCann. Jacoby Jones riding an 8-game hitting streak will bat 7th. Jose Iglesias is batting 8th, and Dixon Machado gets the start tonight at second base. He'll bat 9th.
Chrysler defense for the Indians has the right-handed lineup in there tonight. Brantley is in left, Davis in center, Geyer over and right. On the infield, Gonzalez gets the start at third tonight. Lindor is at short, Kip at second, Encarnacion will be at first. Roberto Perez catching Trevor Bauer as always.
Quinn Walcott has the plate. James Hoy at first, Marvin Hudson at second, the crew chief. Erwin Danley is at third. 73 degrees at game time. It will be, it feels a little on the humid side. We had some storm activity in and out throughout the northeastern Ohio. We had a few brief showers kind of pass by, but nothing really major down here at the ballpark in the last several hours, though the tarp was on the field for most of the afternoon. Trevor Bauer looks in. Leonis Martin is ready, and the first pitch is a fastball strike. Martin 0 for his last 8 at the plate.
Well, he may be happy to see Trevor Bauer today because he's 7 for 11 off him in his career.
And it's 0-2. Martin readjusting the batting gloves. Two-strike pitch. Slow curve, just missed. Indians have won 8 of 11 against the Tigers, including all 5 played here in Cleveland. There's another slow hook.
Thought he was going to get the chase there. That's what he was looking for. Slowed it down enough to get out of the strike zone. When you look at that pitch on the Nissan pitch tracker, it looks like a strike, and then all of a sudden the bottom falls out. Never gets there, but he did not chase after it. That was a good take.
2-2 fastball in off the dish and a full count. From 0-2 to 3-2. And the fastball rings him up. Martin argues to no avail. The 130th strikeout this year for Trevor Bauer.
Well, he comes in with a low heater, a tracer right there. That's a good pitch, right at the knees, and had the plate. He's got nothing to complain about. That's a good pitch. Bauer gets strikeout number 1.
Jeimer Candelario, 3 hits in his last 19 at bats. He was 0 for 4 last night, and he looks at that curveball for strike 1. Tried to hold up, but he went around. It's 0-2. Came right back with it and just missed.
Well, he comes out of the chute throwing everything, doesn't he? He started a fastball, changeup, curveball, and now he's working his sliders in.
Just an emergency swing to try and get contact. And the count 1-2. Pulled that over off the front of the Tigers dugout. On this current road trip, Candelario trying to find his offensive stroke. But he's been held to a 3 for 19 mark. Road trip for Detroit that started out really well. They swept the White Sox in Chicago, but then lost 2 in Cincinnati in the series opener here last night. Swung on and missed. Bauer has struck out the first 2.
You'll see the changeup here, really well done, a circle change, and you can see the rotation of that ball just going down. Excellent. Started at the knees, the movement going away. He has Candelario out in front. Very good pitch.
Well, Nick Castellanos steps in. He was 1 for 3 last night. His only hit in his last 13 at bats. And a high fastball just misses upstairs. Castellanos having a good year with a .302 average, 9 homers, 41 driven in. And he has really taken over a bigger role now in the Tigers offense with Miguel Cabrera lost for the season. Low fastball just out of the zone. 2-0. He is tied for third in the American League. He has 90 hits. Sixth best in doubles with 22. Good fastball. Looked like Castellanos might have been taking all the way. It's 3-1. Low dart outside corner, full count.
Well, that's one as a hitter you really don't want to swing at because it's such a well located heater. If a pitcher has that pitch in his back pocket when he falls behind, he's going to get you out.
Same pitch that time didn't get the call, and it's ball 4. Storylines brought to you by Wayside Furniture. Indians pitchers have struck out 55 Tigers in the last 5 games. And Jose Ramirez has been identified as a guy you don't want to let beat you, and the Tigers walked him 4 times last night.
Well, they may continue to see it here tonight and tomorrow as well. When you're facing the Tigers, they know he's beating them up enough.
Victor Martinez bats in the first with a man at first base and 2 down. Swings at the first pitch, and the liner to right will be in for a hit. Castellanos is going for third, and he'll get there safely. So Victor Martinez with his first hit in the series. And now the Tigers with some 2-out noise.
Well, he comes, starts Victor off with the fastball, and he's ready for it. He lined it in. It was coming, had some top spin. Geyer wasn't going to be able to get there. With 2 outs, you're off and running, so Castellanos can get third. And now they, as you say, they have a little noise going, so it's up to Bauer to see him get out of it.
Nico Goodrum was 0 for 3 last night, struck out twice. But lately has been swinging a pretty good bat for Detroit. Slow curveball in for strike 1. Earlier this month, Goodrum had a 3-game stretch where he went 0 for 10, but since then he's batted .308 with 3 doubles, couple of home runs in the last 9 games. First and third, Castellanos the lead runner. Bauer has Goodrum in the hole. Wow, what a block by Roberto.
Sure was. Did you see how high he got up just to get that chest protector on that ball and keep it up in front? He was just trying to smother it. That was so far out in front. Look at him. He's standing tall on that one. Hits him dead straight into that protector. Good job. And every time he goes out there, he probably has about 8 to 10 of those a game with Bauer out there when he throws that curveball.
Oh,
hit him.
So now the bases are loaded. And this inning is taking on a whole different complexion than the way it started. Bauer struck out the first 2, but then a walk, a single, and now a hit batter.
He went with the slider here, followed up with that curveball, got him on the back knee, the left knee, just above it. So he takes his base. So the 2-out walk, a base hit, now a hit batter. And Bauer has to work to get out of this inning.
This will be the 25th pitch of the inning for Trevor. James McCann, the Tigers catcher, was 1 for 3 last night. Fastball at the knees, outside corner.
McCann looks like he's saying that that pitch wasn't a strike. It looks like he's saying it's outside.
Slow breaking balls in the dirt, 1-1. Swing and a foul tip. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The sellout crowd, many of them still filing in.
Getting into it a little early here in the top half of the first.
Bauer ready, 1-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. Hayes struck him out to end the inning. Bauer fans 3, Tigers leave them loaded. The Indians are coming to bat.
Ohio Hyundai starting pitcher for the Tigers. He's coming off the disable. His right hamstring gave him some problems, so he'll be making his first start since coming off the list. Has faced the Indians 22 times in his career, 17 as a starter. He's 5-7 with a 4.39 ERA.
Indians starting 9 for Terry Francona. Brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Lindor, Brantley, and Ramirez at the top. Edwin, Rajay, Brandon Geyer in the middle. Then it's Kip, Roberto, and Eric Gonzalez batting 9th.
I think patience is the word for Liriano facing him as a hitter. He can get a little erratic, make him get in the zone. He was really roughed up in his last start in Toledo before coming up here on Sunday. 11 hits he gave up.
Outside.
In 4 innings of work, 7 strikeouts. But this is a guy that can get all over the place. If he's on and he has a slider, he can be awfully tough.
Ground ball. Backhanded. Throw is not in time. Iglesias tried to get enough on it to try and retire the speedy Lindor, but no dice. And an infield single for Frankie.
Well, you know you've got to get rid of it because Lindor gets down the line very well. And when you backhand, look how quickly, but you just can't get enough on that throw as it checks up. And it takes a little of the speed off when you bounce it in that grass. So Frankie will get an infield single. It's a good way to start your day. An infield hit.
No score, bottom of the first. Michael Brantley 1 for 4 with a double and a run batted in last night. The Indians have outscored the Tigers 17-3 in the first 2 innings on the year.
Yeah, the Tigers looking for their first win in this ballpark this year. 0-5.
Brantley shoots it foul. 1-1. Francisco Liriano made his last start against the White Sox on May 26th. And afterwards, he told Ron Gardenhire his hamstring was sore. And a couple of days later, didn't get any better. And Gardenhire said at the time, you know, he's had a history with some leg issues. Usually he can get through them. This time he couldn't. And they wanted to make sure that it didn't get any worse. And it's a team that is in dire need of healthy bodies to go out and start every 5 days.
Yes, absolutely.
Not to mention, Arch, you know, if he pitches well, he could be a guy maybe they flip at the deadline and get another prospect or two. Who knows?
Like he was last year when he went to Houston to pitch out of the bullpen as the only left-hander.
2-1. He pitched well against the Indians in April, and then they got to him pretty good in Detroit back in the middle of May. Jose Ramirez waiting on deck. Brantley in a good spot here, 3-1. And he draws ball 4. The fastball was outside. Player profile brought to you by Levin Furniture. More walks than strikeouts. It's kind of a rare occurrence these days, but look at Mike Trout, Jose Ramirez.
Bregman jumped into the conversation now.
Not surprising. Those are 2 of the top hitters in the American League, Trout and Ramirez. Andrelton Simmons has only punched out 11 times out in Anaheim with the Angels. Two on, nobody out. You figure they pitched to him here. Now, they didn't intentionally walk him every time last night, but you could tell they really weren't interested in challenging him at any point in that game until it was already out of hand in his final at bat of the night.
Well, yeah, when you come into the series, that's what you do. Hey, we're not going to let this guy beat us. So, you know, if you can keep the guys off base in front of him, great. Then we can pitch around him. If you don't, then we're going to have to go at him. So good luck. You're on your own.
Well, Liriano's just having trouble throwing strikes, period.
And the back-to-back changeups to start him off with guys on first and second.
Only 3 out of 10 strikes from the Tigers left-hander to this point.
And don't get over anxious with this guy.
Ramirez lines it into center field. That's a base hit. Lindor will be waved home. Martine's throw is not in time. Throw down to third, and they got Brantley. So the Indians get on the board first. Ramirez has his 51st run batted in of the season. But Brantley is thrown out at third, and he and Sarbaugh talking it over at the end of the play.
Well, I'll tell you what, Martin came up throwing the home plate, but McCann did the smart thing, come get the ball and go to third base. He saw Brantley didn't have a good turn going to third, so you got to get it out there. He did. That's a heads-up play by McCann. He saw everything in front of him. He cut the ball, came up in front of home plate, and threw Brantley out at third base. But Ramirez will get him on the board with a base hit.
And Ramirez is in scoring position on the throw. Edwin Encarnacion at the plate. Throw back to second. Ramirez back with a head first dive. Fastball in off the plate. 1-1. Twins have already lost. Texas beat them today 9-6. So Minnesota's lost back-to-back games at home to the last place team in the AL West. Rangers, by the way, won 7 in a row. Another throw to second, but Ramirez is back safely. One and almost hit him. Going to third. The throw is into left field, but backed up nicely there by Iglesias. I think Candelario might have gotten just enough leather on it to slow it down. So Ramirez is in the third base on the wild pitch.
Well, that's down in the feet of Encarnacion. I'm surprised it didn't hit him. And then he goes down with a sidearm throw. McCann, he's lucky that Candelario did get some leather on it, but you know what? It was backed up, a heads up by Iglesias, and then even Jones was coming in from left field. So I don't think that Jose would have been able to go anywhere else. So the wild pitch moves him to third. The infield comes in.
In off the plate. It's 3-1. And only 5 strikes out of 15 pitches thrown by Liriano.
Yeah, he's all over the place right now. And I told you his rehab start on Sunday was not that good. He allowed 8 runs on 11 hits in 4 innings.
Didn't walk anybody though.
Yeah. He already did here.
Yeah, that's a weird line. 4 innings, 11 hits.
I will say this. A lot of times when you go down to the minor leagues and those kids get a chance to face a major league pitcher, they swing the bats and they don't care where it is. You could be 2 inches, 3 inches, 4 inches off the plate. They're going to find a way to hit it for whatever reason.
3-2. Softly served into center field for an RBI. Edwin has his 48th run driven in on the year. It's 2-0 Cleveland. Third hit in the inning for the Indians.
That's going out of the strike zone to drive in a run. He did a nice job right there. That pitch was off the plate. He kept his hands back. And watch, it's a breaking ball. And he just says, I'm going to go out and get that ball. The infield's in. All I have to do is just put it out into the grass, get some outfield grass. He does. He gets the RBI. It's 2-0 Tribe. He was running a little gingerly to first base as well. You mean that ball down in the feet near the ankle on that one pitch? Keep an eye on it.
Remember, wasn't it against Detroit, Rick, when he rolled that ankle?
Yeah, it was.
Rajai Davis batting 5th tonight. Last 10 games, he has 9 hits. But more impressive is what he's done once he's reached first base in those last 9 games. Rajai, or I should say in those last 10 games. In those last 10 games, he has stolen 6 bases and he has scored 8 runs. So his ability to create offense once he gets on base is still a factor. Off the glove, down to second base goes Edwin.
second.
I think that's going to be another wild pitch.
Yeah, it is. It's a second
I don't know
wild
if
pitch.
he cut under the off speed.
I mean, watch this. There's no way he could come close to getting this ball.
That was supposed to be a breaking ball, but
well, it didn't break. It broke the other way.
Yeah.
Whatever. It's gone. It's off the end of his glove. Second wild pitch. He only had 3 all year. He has 2 in the first inning.
Raj swings and misses. And Lariano has his first strikeout, 2 down in the inning.
Check the Tigers defense. It's going to be Jones in left field, Martin in center, Castellanos over and right. On the infield from third to first, Candelario at third, Iglesias short, Machado second, Goodrum first, McCann catching.
Brandon Geyer to the plate as Ron Gardenhire looks over the lineup card. Geyer takes a strike. Picked up an RBI last night. He came on late. Took over for Michael Brantley in the 8th inning. Reached on an error, but did get credited with an RBI. 0-2. Since his return from the disabled list, Geyer 2 for 8 at the plate. Bounced in front of the dish, and McCann with a good block. He's been a busy catcher here in this first inning. A couple of wild pitches. He almost threw one into left field trying to get Ramirez when he went to third. But he did make a very good heads-up play in getting Michael Brantley at third base earlier in the inning. The 1-2. Up high. Center field, it's going to drop for a hit. Martin charging. Coming around third. Encarnacion's going to try to score. The throw is in plenty of time. Ball gets away, and he's safe. How do you like them apples? McCann cannot believe it.
He was ready to ring him up, and the ball beat him by 10 feet. And then that's why you go in feet first a lot of times. You have an opportunity to knock that ball out of the glove, and here comes the throw. Watch Martin. It beats him by a mile. That's a nice pick, but then he goes to tag him. Here it comes, and then all of a sudden it pops out of the glove. He hits it with his knee, not really the spike, the knee, and there it comes. And he will be called safe. How about that? So that's going to be a base hit, no RBI, and an error on McCann.
You know what's interesting about that play? When you look at it, really, it was a great second look by our folks down in the truck who do such a great job giving you every possible angle. That last look, though, Arch, you think the best play for a catcher is to have the ball in your bare hand and then bury that hand in the glove. But in doing so, when Edwin slid into his right arm, it was his hand that knocked the ball out of the glove. If he's just got it secured in the mitt, maybe the mitt stays closed and it doesn't pop out.
Yeah.
But because the ball's in his bare hand, watch when his right elbow gets hit, his hand actually just flips the ball out.
It sure does. That's a good call. I didn't see that. That's exactly what happened. Look at it. His wrist bent and he had no way to go. Couldn't hold on. That's an extra run right there.
Kipnis swing and a miss. What a turn of events. The Tigers had the bases loaded, albeit with 2 outs in the first inning. Did not score. And now the Indians come right back and put 3 on the board. Aided in part with a couple of wild pitches, and error by the catcher, and Lariano really laboring. Jason Kipnis having himself a homestand. 5-game hitting streak. And he takes a pitch outside, 2-2. Mariano eyeing Geyer at first base. He's not moving, and the 2-2 is lined the other way foul. Three runs on 4 hits in the inning for the Indians. Lindor started it with an infield single. And then after the walk to Brantley, Ramirez and Encarnacion both drove in runs with singles. Geyer with a base hit. And now Kipnis with a 2-2 count. Pops it out of play and stays alive.
Well, already the Indians with 4 hitters with 5 or more pitches in that bat. Over 60 pitches thrown in this first inning combined. Top half and now the bottom half.
Fans have gotten their money's worth already.
Maybe it's a good thing we started at 6 o'clock tonight.
The 2-2. Low, full count. Wow, look at McCann. He can't believe it. This inning just will never end for him. Ron Gardenhire telling Nico Goodrum, get behind the runner. Don't hold him now. Here's the 3-2. It's low, ball 4. Woo. Second walk of the inning. Kipnis almost chased after it, but held up. That was borderline, by the way. And it's going to bring out Chris Bosio, the pitching coach, and the Tigers have a right-hander up, literally just tossing a ball, just trying to get loose. It's already Lewicki, but I mean, he's not even up on the mound yet.
Well, not what you expected. They should be done with this inning, and it should be a 2-0 ball game. But McCann couldn't hold on as Encarnacion knocked the ball out of his glove. And then the long at bat by Kipnis, who walked. Now Perez is coming to the plate, the 8th man.
It took Chris Bosio 15 seconds just to get to the pitcher's mound, so it kind of cut short his meeting time.
Well, he's already had something to say to Quinn Walcott.
You're the cutoff man. You're the cutoff man.
You can see with a young team how much instruction is still going on.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, this isn't just put the guys out there and play. They're instructing on what to do on particular plays.
And it's going to go on all year long.
Roberto Perez waves at it. Strike 1. Perez 4 for 11 this year against left-handed pitching. Low and away, 1 ball, 1 strike.
Well, that defense, you look at him down, kicking the dirt, looking down, waiting in between pitches, because Liriano does not have a good rhythm or tempo flowing at all here in the first.
Can't be too many instances where he's thrown back-to-back strikes in this inning.
No, that's what I'm thinking. You know, you get up there and it's ball 1, ball 2. Okay, they foul a ball off, and that's where you just kick dirt and you wait around and you end up getting on your heels as defensively.
38 pitches, 19 balls, 19 strikes. Outside, 3-1.
Well, he will not be long for this game if he walks this guy.
Yeah, Lewicki may have to finish his warm-up tosses
on the field. No kidding.
Only 6 times has he thrown back-to-back strikes in the inning, but he might get out of it here. Castellanos on the track, makes the catch, and the inning is over. It started with a Lindor infield hit. Ramirez brought him home. Edwin drove one home. And a botched play at the plate. 3-0 Cleveland.
Much more. Download the MLB Ballpark app today.
There's a look at the ballpark. A lot of the folks still trying to find their seats. Sold out house tonight. Fireworks to follow. Rain earlier. I can't tell, Archer. Are those storm clouds behind us?
It looks dark. Hard to tell from here. We've got the sun coming into our faces.
I've got the grounds crew next to me, and they're thinking in the next 12 minutes we may get some more, and we just felt a couple drops.
Oh,
so,
yeah?
Yeah, not to let you down, but just to give you the information.
Thank you.
Jones showing bunt, takes a strike.
Tell the ground crew to heel. We can play through it.
Sharply hit. Kipnis knocked it down, but cannot recover, and Jacoby Jones is aboard with an infield single.
Kip ranging to his left. That ball jumped up on him. I don't know if it got him on the glove or on the wrist, but he couldn't recover.
Leadoff man aboard. Here's Jose Iglesias. Iglesias with a hit in 5 straight games. Off-speed pitch. 1-1. Runner goes up and in, throw down, and not in time. Jacoby Jones has his 7th stolen base of the year.
Had a pretty good jump there. And I'll tell you what, Perez did a good job to get that ball and get rid of it. So he stole this one on Bauer. Look at him come up, and he stayed back and threw a seed right there on the money. He will be safe. He gets the foot in by the time Kipnis can apply the tag. His 7th.
Pop towards center. Rajay runs it down. Jacoby Jones will tag. He'll head to third. The throw is not in time. And the Tigers with an opportunity to get on the board here in the second with a runner third and 1 out. Stat of the game brought to you by Buick. Indian starters have done an unbelievable job of getting deep. 35 times a starter has gone at least 7 innings this year. That's impressive, and that is what I think those guys took it upon themselves to say, hey, the bullpen's a little beat up, you know, and they're still missing Andrew Miller, but they've done a nice job of going the extra mile.
26-9 in those 37 starts.
Mike Clevenger, Corey Kluber, Trevor Bauer, Shane Bieber. Those guys have really been good, especially in the last week. The 0-1. Swung out and missed. Machado just waved at that curveball.
Bauer has an opportunity to go for the strikeout here. As you know, he will. Perez will be on his haunches if he calls for a curveball, because he's not going to throw one for a strike if he does throw that pitch. I wouldn't think.
Oh, that one gets away, and that's going to give the Tigers a run. 3-1. Wild pitch.
I want to see that one again. That caught something off the side and really ricocheted off something on Roberto Perez. There's the curveball, and he's getting down. But do you see the spin bounce that ball back the other way? And as a catcher, you know it may come back. You just don't know how much it's going to come back. And it deflected off his arm, and it just took off.
I think too, Arch, swung on and missed. He ends up getting the strikeout.
That's where Bauer's going to be upset.
And I think, Rick, that pitch that got away, it looked like it had slider spin as opposed to the curve.
It might have been a slider.
And maybe that just, the way it kicked, caught Perez a little bit by surprise, maybe. I don't know.
That's fine. I can see that being a slider instead of the straight over the top where he could just, you know, stand tall on his haunches to knock it over. That might have been.
4 strikeouts for Bauer. 2 down in the inning, and Leonis Martin, who was called out on strikes in the first. Big chopper to first. It's just foul.
I want to send along birthday wishes to Bus McFarland of Naples, Florida, formerly of Chagrin Falls, turning 85 today. Paul Spikes turning 80. Happy birthday.
There are worse places to be than Naples, Florida.
No doubt about it. Very nice down there. A lot of Buckeyes down in that area. The Fort Myers, Naples, absolutely.
Ball and 2 strikes on Martin. Bounced in front of the plate. 2-2. Off the bat, or did he get the hand? Home plate umpire Quinn Walcott says it got the hand. Roberto's looking back to the Indians dugout saying, anyway, we can look at that.
Well, they could, but let's take a look at it ourselves while we're waiting. As he goes out there, and It could have been the.
That looks like the knob of the bat, doesn't
well,
it?
it could have been, but I did see the glove move a little bit. The hand is part of the bat on the bottom part of it, and they're taking a peek. And then Tito's going to. He may ask if they will look at it without a challenge.
Yeah.
And it did get the bottom half, and there was that. I know what you're talking about, the knob below. So we'll see.
Yeah. That's one of those things we said is, as kids, the hand is part of the bat. Technically, it's not. If you get hit on the hand, you're hit by the pitch. You take your base. But that ball looked like it hit the knob. But you're right. I think it also hits the hand.
I want to see the glove.
The third baseman, Jamer Candelario.
It hits the hand first. Yeah, it sure did. That's a great second look.
Second batter that Bauer has hit today.
You ready now?
Trevor's just he's trying to find his rhythm. He's shown a couple of signs where it looks like he's about to get there. Foul down the right side and out of play.
Well, Bauer's a guy, we know he can throw a lot of pitches. The three pitchers with the most pitches that thrown this year, Max Scherzer has thrown 1,704. Verlander 1,654. And Bauer 1,639 coming into tonight. And he prides himself on throwing as many pitches as he can.
Pulls it foul.
Arch, from that stat, that was going into today, correct? Because Verlander would have one more start, I think, than.
Yeah, that's going into today.
Okay, because Bauer, when they reached, he was, I think, 6 pitches ahead of Scherzer at one time. Says he wanted to get about 20 more ahead of him before it was all said and done.
That's going to be tough to do.
So he's well aware of that stat, is what I want to tell you.
Well, I know you've made it known. He's not afraid.
Again, the 0-2. Swung out and missed. He chased one way out in front of home plate. 5 Ks for Bauer. But a gift run for Detroit here in the second, and it's a 3-1 Indians lead. And a packed house here tonight. Beautiful evening as game time temperature just 73 degrees. It was humid. Pitch is outside, ball 1 to Eric Gonzalez.
Well, the Indians on this homestand by leadoff hitters, they've done a nice job. 13 runs scored by the leadoff hitter. 5 against the Tigers so far, and this is only the second game. Get them on and get them over and get them in. That's the key. Get that early lead and let the pitching take over.
2-2. Eric Gonzalez has gone 5 for 13 against Tiger pitching on the year with a home run. Struck him out looking. Lariano gets his second K. 1 down here in the second inning, and we'll check in with Gabriela Cruz.
Bring the whole family down to Progressive Field and don't miss all the excitement that is KeyBank Kids Fun Day, animals included. Stick around post game for Kids Run the Bases. That's presented by Cleveland Clinic Children's. Get your tickets now on Indians.com.
Homestand wraps up tomorrow with Kids Fun Day, and the Indians will send Adam Pletko to the mound against Matthew Boyd. Liriano's 1-0 pitch to Lindor is low and away.
Everybody clap your hands.
Lindor with a drive to center. Back goes Martin. He reaches up and snares it shy of the track for out number 2. Injury report brought to you by the attorneys at Elk & Elk. Michael Waka with an oblique injury will go to the DL for St. Louis. That's where the Indians are headed next for interleague play. Mike Soraka of the Atlanta Braves with a shoulder problem. Johnny Barbato, he went on the DL, and that's how Liriano was activated today. Speaking of the Braves, well, the Orioles seem to have their number. Baltimore's up 7-4 in the 8th inning in Atlanta this afternoon after they beat them last night.
Not over yet.
True. 9-pitch inning for Francisco Liriano. It's 3-1 Cleveland through 2.
Yeah, there's a nice line out there tonight.
Castellanos, Martinez, Goodrum for Detroit here in inning number 3. When the Indians lead after 2 innings at home this year, they are 13-1. And they've now outscored Detroit in the first 2 innings this year 20-4. That's a pretty good strategy. You get them down early, especially I think when you're playing against a younger team. You can maybe force Arch, a younger team, to press a little bit more. Whereas a veteran team knows, hey, a long way to go. We can get a few swings. We're right back in this thing.
Well, at this ballpark, though, they've been able to add on, unlike they on the road. You know, they've averaged almost 6 runs a game here in this ballpark. So if they can score early, and then you know they're going to come back again and score on this, you know, late into their ballpark.
The 1-1 to Castellanos. Hit in the air to right field. Routine. Geyer. 1 down. Great clip of the game from last night. Shane Bieber, 7 innings. He allowed 4 hits. He walked 1, struck out 9, did not allow a run. 97 pitches. He was brutally efficient. 15 pitches in this first inning, 16, then 11, 11. Just a really good start for Bieber. He's now 2-0 to start his major league career.
18 swings and misses yesterday for him.
Another really good step in the right direction for him as he talks to Adam Pletko on the bench. I mean, the Indians have been blessed with some really good pitching, starting pitching especially. When you talk about the likes of Kluber, Carrasco, Bauer, Clevenger, and now all of a sudden we get a couple of guys called up from the minor leagues, Pletko and Bieber, and they don't look overmatched at all. They have just sort of fit right in.
Yeah. Yeah, Pletko's 3 wins, and you know, Bieber now with 2.
Victor Martinez takes a fastball for a strike. And it's 2-1. If this were like an educational system, both Bieber and Pletko have a front row seat to the master's degree. You know, just watching these other guys go out and work every night, how they attack hitters. Martinez with a fly ball, shallow right near the line. Geyer running out of room, makes the catch. And he hangs on, 2 down. Victor didn't hit it all that hard. It ended up carrying more than I thought it would, but Geyer did a nice job.
Off the end of the bat, Geyer realized he was getting close. He knew that wall was coming, but he got over to the line, caught that ball in fair territory before he ran into the wall.
And up comes Nico Goodrum. Goodrum was hit by a pitch his first time up on the leg. Chased one down and in. It's quickly 0-2. He went right back to it. Why not if he keeps chasing after it? Boy, Bauer thought it was strike 3, didn't get the call.
You know, he didn't hear anything, but he felt he made a good pitch and he was just going to walk off. He knew he hit it. He made the pitch he wanted to, but he saw those guys standing there and he went, "Are you kidding me?"
That breaking ball misses down and in, and now it's a full count. This time he rings him up. Low fastball right at the bottom of the zone. And a half dozen Ks for Trevor Bauer. The Tigers go in order for the first time tonight. It's 3-1 Cleveland. Extremely famous American, Chuck Yeager, the famous test pilot who broke the sound barrier. He is 95 years old. And he's here.
Yeah, good for him. Nice to see him.
Tonight watching the Indians and the Tigers. I remember as a kid, remember the spark plug commercials?
Yes.
I mean, he just looked like a guy you wouldn't want to mess with. Jose Ramirez here in the bottom of the third. An RBI single and a run scored. Rip fouled on the left side and out of play. Swung out and missed. It's 2-2. And a line drive off the glove of Iglesias. Boy, there's a rare misplay that you don't see very often.
You know, I'm not going to make an excuse, but that ball was hit very hard, and it might have been a knuckleball out to him. Because he's, you know, I don't know how hard that ball came off the bat, but, you know, there's one you just look at it and you think it's simple. It's not a simple catch. It goes off his glove, and that's going to be an error.
Leadoff man aboard for Edwin Encarnacion. Double play ball right at Iglesias. And there are two down. Time now for a game break. Here's Al Pulaski.
All right, Matt, Rick, let's head to Milwaukee. St. Louis Cardinals taking on the Brewers today. We'll see St. Louis on Monday in St. Louis. Today, Yadi Molina with a couple of home runs. He provided all the RBIs for the Cards today. This is a two-run homer here in the sixth to give them a lead for good. Number 11 on the campaign. 3-2. Cards top the Brewers today in Sud City, guys.
First loss of the year for Jeremy Jeffress. Thanks, Al. Two down. Here's Rajay Davis. Struck out his only time up in the first. They tried Iglesias all 3 times. Oh, and they end up keeping the inning alive. Wow. The first time Iglesias mishandled the ball. This time he fires a perfect throw to Goodrum and he drops one. Maybe he's going to blame it on the old sun in my eyes. I don't know, but it was right in his glove.
Well, it's right there. I mean, that's no, that's not a sun ball. It's just he's not really a first baseman. You can tell as he's fielding it. There it is. He had it and just didn't catch it. Okay, so the second error of the inning, the third of the game now for Detroit. We saw this with the Chicago White Sox when they were in town. Their defense not very good, although coming into today they had only made 38 errors, which was 5th best in the league. Well, add 3 to that and they're up to 30 or 41.
See if Brandon Guyer tries somebody other than Liriano or than Iglesias in this inning. Runner goes. Rogers in there with a stolen base. If he holds the bag, he does. Ball came loose anyway. 15 steals for Rajai Davis.
You know, he doesn't have a high leg kick, but he knows. Boy, he just read it beautifully. He was off and running before he even picked that foot up. He knew he was going to home plate. Tigers having a tough time holding on to the ball today. It's dropping out of everybody's glove.
Popped up foul out of play. Back on May 15th in a game in Detroit, Liriano was on the mound, and in the first inning of that game, Brandon Guyer hit his first career grand slam, and it staked the Indians to an early 4-0 lead. But that's a game they ultimately lost 9-8.
Well, in the month of June, the Indians have had their running shoes on. 24 of 25 stolen bases. Very, very good. They have 53 now. They're 3rd in the league.
Swing and a miss. He strikes him out. That'll end the inning. Through 3. 3-1 Cleveland. Jacoby Jones, Jose Iglesias due up for Detroit. Trevor Bauer goes back to work for Cleveland. Matt Underwood, Rick Manning, Andre Knott as usual, joined now by El Presidente Dennis Martinez. Welcome back.
Thank you.
How are you?
Nice to be back here in Cleveland.
Well, we picked the perfect night for you to drop in, huh?
This is beautiful.
Well, I want to know about you and him battling head to head. Was he a tough out for you?
Oh, yes.
Carve him up?
Always. Always give me some hard trouble when he was on the home plate. I mean, you know, he was a great hitter to me. I was coming out when he was in his prime, so I had to find out how to get him out. Him, hard draw, body belt.
He would do the same thing Jim Palmer did. Try to throw the fastballs up and the breaking balls down and away so you can't hit it the other way.
I mean, you know, you can't make a mistake with these guys because, you know, if you do, they will take you deep. So I had to be able to learn from Jim Palmer because he was another right-hander like he was. So, and I was learning from the best. As James took this guy out, so I was following whatever he did with him.
Now, was your rookie year 78, 79? When did you?
My first rookie year was 77.
77.
Yeah. Yes.
So yeah, Arch had a couple of years on you by then. He was. He was established.
But this guy pitched till he was 44 years old, though, right? You were about a month or two shy of your 45th birthday.
Yes. Yes.
That's unbelievable. How did you make it that long physically?
Well, you know, I think I was brought out in the Orioles organization where they make you run a lot. They make you to fit yourself real well and be able to train as much as you can because they want you to have a good starting pitchers.
Right.
Earl Weaver relied on good pitches, good defense, and three-run
homers.
Right. Yeah. So we have to run like horses then because he wanted us to go 9 innings every time, and we did. We were lucky to be like that, but I think I was blessed. You know, I was able to maintain myself physically. Well, I did work hard. I did run hard. I did throw every day. I didn't put ice on my shoulders. So that was the key, I guess. I never used ice.
Never used ice, but never messed with weights or anything. No. You were into running, throwing the baseball, and you could last 24, 25 years in the game. We
were just natural talent. You see this man? He was great like that too. Can you imagine if this time around how it's going to be? Oh. We remember Joe Charbonneau, though.
Oh, yes. Yes, we
remember him?
Oh, yes. 1980.
Yes.
That was his rookie year.
Now, by the time you came to pitch for the Indians, 1994, obviously you're in the later stages of your career. How had you changed as a pitcher when you came to Cleveland?
Well, I became a pitcher when I came to Montreal, pretty much, after my drinking problem that I had, and I was able to see what I didn't see before. Before, when I was the Orioles, I was young, hard-headed type of guy. I was more like I was doing my own thing. I didn't want nobody to bother me, even though in my late time too, I was doing the same thing too. But in those times, I was able to read the swings. I was able to see what pitches they can hit and what pitches they cannot hit. Before, I was just going through my pure talent. I had a nasty curveball.
Yes,
I had a good fastball. So that's the thing that I survived with the Orioles. When I went to the Montreal Expos, I was able to see all that I was able to see before. So I picked it up real quick, and I started blossoming then because I was able to pitch more clear with my mind. Everything was good, so I became a better pitcher. I was looking at the pitchers better because in the National League, it helped me as a hitter. I saw some pitchers slowing away. They look far away from me.
Yeah.
And when I look back, the umpire called it strike 3. So I look back and I go, wow, if I make those pitches, I don't think nobody can hit it. So I realized that I had to make a good pitches to be able to succeed at the big league level, and I did. So that's basically what I did.
That's the first time I've ever heard a pitcher, Arch, say that hitting actually helped him as a pitcher.
Yeah, well, it's incredible because he says, I can't hit that. I could barely see it.
Right.
How are they going to hit it if I can put it there? I understand that.
It is that way, yeah, because this guy, they can hit the mistake. No doubt about it. So, and I was able to learn to pitch the corners after that, and I live up to that for the corner. My best pitch was low and away fastball, four-seamer, and then I go in once in a while to keep those guys honest.
Yeah.
And then I drop my bomb, my hook.
Now that's a pitch that's coming back into baseball, a curveball instead of the slider, right?
Yes, I see those guys. I saw the guy pitch yesterday. My man here,
this guy's got a nice
nasty one.
Yes.
So there's some other people, they come along with the curveball, which is a great pitch. I think that would not hurt their arm, also like the cutter or the slider. I think that's a safety pitch for them to develop, and they will be okay.
Slow chopper, charging Gonzalez, bare hand grab, can't come up with it. And Jose Iglesias will reach on a 2-out error. I want to ask you, as we take another look at the effort here by Eric Gonzalez. He figures his only shot is to go to the bare hand because Iglesias gets down the line quickly, but just couldn't come up with it.
Not an easy play, especially when you don't play every day.
Right.
When you pitched the clincher to get the Indians into the World Series, was that a moment for you that stands out as one of the best?
Well, it did, because I remember that I was in Seattle. It was a newspaper that morning. They were saying odds 100-1 in favor of Randy Johnson. You know, I was on my way out. Randy was in his way up. So it was, you know, it was natural thing to say. But and then they say David against Goliath. That's what they're saying.
Goliath. Yeah.
Goliath.
Right.
Okay. I'm saying in Spanish. I hope the people
That's
understand.
okay. We understand.
So, okay, good. So all those things inspire me. It's kind of motivate me to prove them that they were wrong, what they were saying. So, you know, I was kind of like, okay, let me prove that these people are wrong. I mean, you know, I'm old, I know that, but I was in my last couple of years in baseball. So, in that game, the key was when we had a base load. I had a minute, second, and third, 2 out, and Edgar Martinez was at the plate. So, Tony came in, and he told me, hey, what do you want to do with this guy? I said, well, we got to go in. If we hit him, we have nothing happen. So we put him base, and we faced Tino Martinez. So, and we did. First pitch, we put it right in the rib. So it was not intentionally, but it happened.
We go in. Wait.
Yeah, we put him first base in the first pitch, and then I throw 3-2 base loaded against Tino Martinez, and I struck him out. That was the game. When that happened, the team took the momentum going, and we scored a couple runs, and then that was it.
Wow.
But that was a great game. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, it was the game that he put us into the World Series. And what better that can be? I mean, that was beautiful.
Pop to center. And Bauer will get out of the inning. Stranding another runner. The error does no damage. We'll continue on with El Presidente. Middle of the fourth. 3-1 Cleveland. The Indians order. We're visiting with Dennis Martinez, former Indians pitcher, El Presidente. He pitched in such a unique time in Cleveland baseball history. The Renaissance was occurring here. We had a new ballpark. You came in. The Indians go to the playoffs for the first time in 4 decades. What I want to know, too, tell me about that staff and how you guys work together, because you think about you and Oral Hershiser. You guys were in the twilight of your careers. You guys had been great pitchers, but you had young guys like Charlie Nagy, and you had, other pitchers who were trying to establish themselves. What was the rotation like for you working together?
Well, we got into the situation where I know that John and Mr. Jacob, they brought me here just to be able to help them to go over the hump. They brought Eddie Murray and myself. Eddie Murray as a hitter and me as a pitcher. So there was a responsibility there where they were looking for a pitcher they can count the goals 6-7 innings and keep them in the lead because they were scoring some run. So and I thought for me, I said, hey, this is a perfect fit for me because that's what I was looking for a while. You know, I was looking for a team where they can score a lot of runs. So we were pretty good when we came here. Oro and Charlie and Mark Clark was there too.
Oh, yeah.
Chad OJ came in after that. So they were pretty good guys because they were hungry. They wanted to find out about what Oro and Charlie was all about and what Dennis Martinez was all about. And they were trying to learn. And when we saw that, we took under our wing. Oro and myself, we started talking to this guy and say, okay, we got to do it, guys. Let's keep doing it. Let's stay together. Let's approach them. Let's attack them, the guys, and they got to score a run for us. So let's keep it close as we can, and we do it. So they start following that pattern, and then everything came so easy because, as you can see, that was a miracle year because we made a lot of comeback.
Oh boy,
we made some miracle comeback. But you know what was the key though? Defense. Defense that we had a sold out all those 3 years. So we play for those people. They make us be on the field to put a good show to them, and that was great. I mean, that was my best year that I had in baseball when I played here.
Well, yeah, you had the lead, and all of a sudden in comes Jose Mesa. The game shut down. You had Omar at shortstop. You had some great defense. Kenny in center field, and Sandy behind the plate, as well as Tony Pena. So it was a tremendous defense.
Dennis, Jim Thome will go into the Hall of Fame this summer. When you remember him as a young player on those teams, could you have envisioned how great a player he would end up being?
Well, Tommy had something there special when I first met him. When I came that year, he went to the Fine Fest or something, and he was the type of kid that he was happy always. You know, he was weird the way that he acted, but he had something on him that I can see it. But I didn't know how good he could be. But that guy was a monster. That guy can hit the ball out of the park anywhere. I mean, any line of the field, left field, center field, or right field. I mean, he was a monster. He got so powerful, and he showed. So I'm really happy for him that he's going to celebrate this year, going to the Hall of Fame. And hey, it's like Manny Ramirez. We had two great lefty and righty. Mr. Bull and Tommy. Tommy. There was right and lefty combination.
Manny had 555 home runs. Yeah. Jimmy had over 600. Right. So there you go. Yeah. You don't see a duo like that.
No, just like my man saying here, that was great offense that we had. All you have to do as a pitcher, just go 5, 6, 7 in good inning, take the lead, and bring Mr. Small, finish the game.
Yeah, we talk about how Manny and Jimmy and Sandy, who's coaching first base, they hit in the bottom third of that order.
Yeah, I was going to say that. Jimmy was hitting 8th.
Yeah, 7th and 8th. Right, and Manny was down there too for a while.
Manny was down there too for a while.
You had Albert, you had Baerga, you had the big boys coming up. Eddie was sitting in the middle part of that line.
Right. And then we had Winfield once in a while.
Right. Sorrento was at first base.
Sorrento was at first base. I mean, ooh.
Yeah, there was some mashers in that lineup.
3-2 pitch. And a ground ball to Iglesias.
Nice
what a
play.
Backhanded pick.
Nice
and
play.
they pull him off the bag, but they turn the double play. Nicely done. A little dicey there at the end, but Iglesias, you can see why he's one of the top slick fielding shortstops in the league.
Well, this guy can throw the ball from any place, underhand, and he's very accurate, and he gets something on it. The key is right there, just to get it and get the first one before you get the second one. But on the turn, brings Goodrum off the base. He had plenty of time because you had Perez running, so they turned the double play. Their second one, good play.
All right, before the inning ends and you move on, Bartolo Colon is closing in on your record as the winningest Latin pitcher of all time, Latin American pitcher of all time. You guys missed each other, I think, by maybe a year pitching together in the big leagues, but I'm sure you remember him maybe when he was coming up through the minors here in Cleveland. What do you think of how Colon has been able to last, similar to how you did late in your career?
Well, I think he's been going through more things than I went through myself. I was not had any injury until 96 that it happened here in Cleveland. But he's been having some arm trouble before, and hey, for me, toward him, he deserves it. He's been put everything that he needs to do, and I hope that you do it, and I hope they do it this year. So I just See, to me, it is great to another Latin pitcher is doing something better for baseball. So I just wish you the best.
Thanks for stopping by. Great catching up with you.
All right,
El
thank
Presidente,
you.
Dennis
Thank you,
Martinez
man.
with us.
You're good, man.
Well, I know somebody that has that camera loves it.
Bauer off the mound. Unloads in a hurry and retires Leonis Martin to start the 5th inning. Boy, that's a terrific play by Trevor Bauer.
To the plate now for the Tigers. Number 46.
Now watch the reactions. He sees the bunt. Boy, he was quick, very quick. Backhanded it, knew he had time, and makes a nice strong throw.
Jamer Candelario has struck out twice tonight. That play that Bauer made just reminded me of the rain delay conversation that I had with him that we aired the other night. He said something during the interview that just kind of stuck out for me. That he said, you know, he doesn't consider himself really an athlete or very athletic. He said, I don't run fast. I don't jump high. I'm not particularly strong. He said all the things that you equate athletically, he said I don't measure up. So he has had to work extremely hard to put himself in this position. And I think it's such a great message to young kids who maybe have dreams or aspirations of pitching. Maybe not pie in the sky, I want to be in the major leagues, but just maybe you want to pitch in high school, maybe you want to pitch in college. And Trevor Bauer is a guy that you can look up to and say, look, this guy did it. And he's not gifted athletically. He's not 6'5". He doesn't throw 100 miles an hour. He's just simply worked and worked and worked to put himself in this kind of position. And Arch, that
to
goes
make the
back
best person that he can possibly be.
Right, and that goes back to is there a more fundamental rule in sports or athletics? You put in the work, the results will come.
That's true. And then
struck him out looking. 9 Ks for Bauer. And there are 2 down as Candelario beefs with the home plate umpire. I mean, pal, you've struck out all 3 times tonight.
Well, I know it. He's had a rough night to this point, and Trevor Bauer is again dealing against these Detroit Tigers with the assortment of sliders, curveballs, changeups, fastballs. He's just been in that group. But today he's just been a little bit off of his normal control because he's went through 39 pitches the first time through the lineup, 39 the second. You know, and normally he can cut that down into about 29 or 30 if he's on his game. 16 swings and misses to this point.
I don't know. I was just thinking about that because people maybe want the quick fix. They want the shortcut. And Trevor's
There's
a perfect example that there is no shortcut.
No.
You just have to put the work in. If you're determined and you're dedicated and you're not afraid of hard work, you can do it.
Well, you got to tell a young person that, and tell a young person's parents, hey, if this kid doesn't want to work or he doesn't want it, it's not going to happen. He has to want it. He has to have that dream come true. You don't become a little leaguer or something like that and say, I'm going to be a big leaguer and just that's that and expect it to happen. You play the game because you enjoy it. And you work harder at it because you want to be better. You want to get it. No one's telling you to get better. You want to do it on your own. And then as you get older and you get into the junior high school and high school era, I mean, you've got to have a pretty good idea of what's going on and how you fit in, you know, to the other people that are very, very good.
Trevor's dad told him when he was a kid, I'll pay for baseball lessons, but you have to put the work in.
Bingo.
So he did. He had to do it by himself, but he went up to the ball field every day with a couple of buckets, and he threw by himself up against the fence.
You appreciate it a lot more if you do it by yourself.
And what made that comment really stand out for me, Arch, is talking to Eric Plunk the other day at the Indians golf outing, who he does private instructing. He coaches and teaches young kids. And he said, boy, every once in a while you get a kid in there, he's not there because he wants to be there.
Right.
But because the parents want to be there.
They force him in there.
And he said the kids, you know, kids looking up at the ceiling. Right. He's like, how much longer is this going to be? He's like, what am I doing? You're wasting my time. I'm wasting your time.
Well, it's no different than a kid going to school and he's not interested in the class that you're teaching. And, you know, he's in outer space. He's dreaming. He doesn't care. He's not going to pass your class. Well, he's not interested. You know what? Move him along. Tell him to take something else. But he's not going to pass. I don't care how much work he does.
Tell him there's a painting by numbers class down the hallway with Dr. Boshenik.
Whatever it is. You know, basket weaving when we used to go to school where you had to take the certain hours or whatever so you could play sports. Get into something easy that you know, if you fall asleep, you pass.
See, we had underwater basket weaving. That was a little tougher, a little more.
Well, yeah, you
advanced.
had to hold your breath a little longer. Underwater.
2 down, Castellanos at first base. The 0-1. And Victor looks at that big curveball for a strike.
Matt, as you guys can continue the conversation about Trevor Bauer and just the hard work that he's put in, I'll go a step further. I think he feels a lot better about himself because of the relationship he and Mike Clevenger have made and grown over the last few years. He just seems more comfortable because he has a young pitcher that's not making fun of him for know, how he goes about things. A guy that's listening to him, a guy that they throw stuff off of each other during games. And you can just tell he's more comfortable and he feels okay with telling people how he feels about why he's gotten here.
And you know the best thing of it all, Andre, is they're two different people. They're the polar opposites.
But Clev said it perfectly the other day. He said you can look at us and we look completely opposite. He goes, but we both get judged on how we look and how we go about things. But when we go out there, we like to compete.
Right.
He goes, I appreciate that he wants to throw harder. I appreciate that he wants to get better. I appreciate that he keeps finding pitches. He goes, so that's the type of guy I want to work with and make better. And he has a $100 bill in his back billfold that he takes everywhere he goes. You want to know why?
Yeah, he signed it.
Two spring trainings ago, they had a competition to see who would throw harder. Clev will not do it anymore because he goes, well, Trev might throw harder now.
Well, it's the competition. It's the motivation. They motivate each other.
And they both work hard. That goes back to, you know, how you guys started the story. They are working when no one is watching, when no one is looking. They're out there working on their craft.
Of course they are. It's the only way to get better.
The only thing for Bauer tonight is the pitch count. He's closing in on 100. 2 outs here in the 5th.
Yeah, that is the thing. You're right.
Had to work hard in the first 2 innings, but only 1 run allowed. Now the 0-2 to Victor. Hunter goes. Swinging a ground ball foul.
Wow, Castellanos trying to steal a base on an 0-2 count. That to me is saying that the manager over there, Gardenhire, knows that Bauer's going to throw a curveball in that situation and usually bounce it, so he restarted his runner because Castellanos is not a base stealer, although he has one. He's stolen one and that was it. Hasn't been caught. You're just guessing there. Trying to get something going. They're only down 2 runs. The Indians had a 3-run first and they came back. The Tigers didn't got one in the second. So they're still in the ball game, very much so.
Not going here, and a curveball is strike 3 called. Trevor Bauer has struck out 10 Tigers tonight. This curveball freezes Victor at the plate. Ball is brought to you by the 2019 Kia Sorento, the perfect getaway vehicle. Visit KiaDealers.com to learn more. And by Levin Furniture. For the best deals on furniture and mattresses, shop Levin's. It's a 3-1. Indians lead as we move to the bottom of the fifth. And the Cleveland Clinic call to the bullpen has been made for Justin Wilson. Or I'm sorry, Alex Wilson, who will come on for Detroit. Strike called outside corner to Lindor, who singled and scored in the first, fly to deep center in the second inning.
Now it's up to that Tiger bullpen to try and keep putting zeros on the board until they can figure out Trevor Bauer.
Think that's going to happen?
I don't think so. But Liriano just coming off the DL, went 4 innings, 4 hits, 3 runs. You know, that third run in the inning really made a difference because he should have been out of the inning when the ball was kicked out of McCann's glove for an error. But that's all the hits. He kept him in the game coming off the DL. It wasn't pretty. But this is what you do when you're at home. You get an early lead, you score in the middle part of the ball game, and that's exactly where they're at. And try and create a little separation here. Cutter got a piece of it, fouled it off. Coming inside, it was well located. He just barely got a piece, and you can see it didn't stick into the glove of McCann. It just trickles out. So Lindor with new life.
Oh, 2 misses outside. And it's outside. 2-2. Yeah, the way this game started, it looked like it had a chance to get out of hand early.
Yes, it did.
But Ron Gardenhire has to feel pretty good that his club's still right in it as we reach the midway point. Ripped down the line. Goodbye. Home run number 18 for Francisco Lindor.
Do you remember that cutter that he fouled off, was able to stay alive? Okay, I think he tries to come back with the same pitch, and I'm going to tell you something. He got up on top and tomahawked this ball, and it was a vicious line drive. The hands above the baseball and smoked it. They went back in, but he left it up, and it was out over the plate a little bit, and he hammered it. Look at the hands. That's hard to get on top of that pitch there.
Over 100 miles an hour off the bat.
And it was right down the line. And it's Frankie's 18th home run. So there's one run right there to start with.
And now Brantley bangs one right at the third baseman, Candelario. One away. Lindor has hit 3 home runs now on the year against Tiger pitching. With the right-hander on the hill, you saw Lonnie Chisenhall getting some scouting report action from Lindor because he'll probably come on and bat here for Geyer. Detroit, they're a team, they only have one left-hander in their bullpen. There you go, watch it get out of here in a hurry.
103 miles an hour off the bat, 380 feet. He has 18 home runs now. 14 of them come from the left side of the plate, and 11 of his 18 have been solo shots.
Low with that fastball, 2-2.
Almost looks like they're not throwing Ramirez any fastballs for strikes when they do try to pitch to him. They're out of the zone to see if they can get him to chase, but he is not.
Boy, that's a tough one.
Made a perfect pitch.
It was probably, as you described it, a perfect pitch. And that's 2 down on the inning.
Just check it out. He's going inside. I don't think he's looking in there. Hosey's looking in there. We've seen pitches in there that were called balls. That one's called a strike. He's going to take the walk back. Made the perfect pitch. Give him credit.
Now Edwin Encarnacion drove in a run and scored in the first. Hit into a double play in the third. Down low with it, 2 balls and a strike. First base umpire James Hoy says he went too far, and it's now 2-2 instead of 3-1. Edwin had a chuckle. Ron Gardenhire had a chuckle. Somebody must have said something funny within earshot of both of those guys. 2-2, and he's out looking. Lindor with a home run here in the 5th. Frankie has hit 18 now on the year, and the Indians are up 4-1. The Indians scored 3 runs. There were a couple of wild pitches. Jose Ramirez drove in 1. Edwin drove in 1. And then the last run of the inning was gift wrap. Look, the throw beats him. He's out. Oh, but the catcher, McCann, dropped the ball. Tigers got a run in the 2nd on a wild pitch by Trevor Bauer. But the Indians answered that with a home run by Lindor in the 5th. Nico Goodrum swings at the first pitch here in the 6th, and that's out number 1.
Take a look at Trevor Bauer in slow motion. We'll start it out with his fastball right here. And that velo's getting up there, but then we go to the curveball. Slider will be next. A little different spin, and now his changeup. And you can see he has pitches that can go either way. Much like Corey Kluber, much like all the Indians pitchers do. They have a lot of weapons against hitters, both left-handed and right-handed.
Here's something I want you guys to know and our fans that are watching. Trevor always watches when we put up, not what you guys just did, because that's awesome, but he always laughs when we put up, if it's a fastball, slider, you know, the percentage of what guys throw.
Right.
He told me that after tomorrow he'll come back and he wants to sit down and see what we make the percentages of his pitches and how close we are on it. So just
now, when you say we, that has nothing to do with any of us.
Well, I've explained that part to him. You know how that goes.
Well, you're right. That doesn't come from anywhere around here.
And you know what? He understands that, though. We've had that conversation, but he finds it funny when we do it with other guys. So I told him, tomorrow, let's sit down. We'll do it in the pregame. We'll do it sometime. I want to know what he thinks about the percentages we have of what comes out of his hand, supposedly.
Well, you're going to show the same 40% fastballs we put up for him.
Right.
And, well, that's not going to work out.
Big Blue spits that out.
Yeah, right. That's not us.
You guys be ready around 11:35 tomorrow, dude, or 12:35.
No, Andre, you'll be on the pregame show, dude.
Here's the 1-2. Andre, you can talk about percentages of pitches, whatever. Here's the numbers that matter to me. Last 27 games that he has started, going back to the midpoint of last year, he's 15-6, a 2.47 ERA with 214 strikeouts and 52 walks.
Well, there you go.
Well, the walks and strikeouts and the ERA jump out to me, but especially the walks, because that was an issue he had for a long time.
Off the end of the bat, softly hit. Rajay runs it down. 2 away.
Well, that's number 7 this year. Double-digit strikeout games, 7 on the year, trailing Scherzer over in Washington, who has 10. But that, I mean, he has really jumped out. He had, what, 4 straight before his last start, and that was a rain delay.
Yeah, he had 8 in the last
And he
one.
wanted to go back out, and I know why, because he wanted to tie Corey Kluber, who had 5 consecutive. And,
He didn't
Corey
want to
did
tie.
that twice. I know.
He wants to beat him.
I know. Well, he's going to have to start another string, and he has one. He's started it tonight.
But it's amazing to me. I can remember 3 years ago him telling me he didn't care about walking guys. Remember, Matty would say, I don't care if I walk a guy, I'll pitch around it, I'll strike guys out. And now that he's gotten past that thought process and throws more strikes, everything else for him has just fell into place.
It sure has.
Well, he's gone 100 pitches or more in all 16 of his starts this year. There's a one-hopper up the gut, and it just skipped past Kipnis on that second bounce.
You know, and the amazing thing for Bauer, you know, with the strikeouts, and he's only, you know, he's lowering his walks. He's only given up 5 home runs on the year, and he's over 100 innings. He's up there in the top 5 or 6 in innings pitched.
Bauer thought he should have had that one. That ball went right by him. He stuck his glove out, and it just whistled past him. Kipnis gave it a great diving effort. But
if he was athletic, he would have had it. So
that's only the 3rd hit. I'm sorry, that's the 4th hit for Detroit in this game. Runner goes, the ball's fouled back out of play.
yeah, and he knows better too. When you go to that 15 pitch average per inning in that 7th inning, that gets you right around the 100 pitch mark, where you want to be. So today, a few more. So I don't think he's going 7 tonight. Trying to get this out and get himself out of the 6th inning.
Yeah, you're going bottom of the order here, 3rd time through. I think that's pretty much going to be the end of the line. Runner goes, pitch is low, throw down. Kipnis, what a grab and tag. A terrific throw by Perez, but an excellent job on the back end by Kip to retire Jacoby Jones. He's caught red-handed, inning over.
hashtag Hats Off for Heroes. For each post, T-Mobile will donate $1 to support veterans.
(4-1), Indians on top. Bottom of the 6th. It will be Tyler Naquin, followed by Lonnie Chisenhall, and then Jason Kipnis. Naquin pinch hitting for Rajay Davis, who was 0 for 2 with a stolen base. In off the plate, ball 1. Naquin drives one deep to center. Back is Martin, making the catch just in front of the warning track. 1 down. Go back and take a look at the throw by Roberto Perez on StatCast.
Well, I'll tell you what, he's been out and made a couple of really good throws. That's under 2 seconds, man. When you go to 1.94, that's excellent. And it was a nice grab by Kipnis to apply the tag. Jones is very fast, had a stolen base, so good throw. Roberto coming around. That's something he's been having an issue with earlier, was the transfer, but throwing very well tonight.
Lonnie Chisenhall's first at bat of the night. First pitch, he swings and flies out to left, 2 down.
Well, get KeyBank Kids tickets starting at just $15 for kids 12 and under with the purchase of an adult ticket. Kids tickets are located in the family deck out here at the ballpark and are only available at Indians.com/kids tickets.
Man's making a transaction for some Cracker Jacks. Oh no, he's going cotton candy. Better choice. Always a better choice. Nothing like just pure sugar. Why? Why mix in the popcorn? Just give me the sugar. That's all I need. Hey, we were talking earlier about that Baltimore-Atlanta series. Orioles held on. They won again. They've now beaten Atlanta 7 straight times going back to 2015. For whatever reason, they have their number.
Well, they held on 7-5 today. That was a 15-inning marathon last night.
Yeah, Phillies have closed the gap to just a game and a half in the NL East now.
It's amazing. It only takes a week sometimes of the leaders to you know, stub their toe a little bit, and whoever's trailing to win a couple series.
Well, to your point, let's just go back a week. Indians started this homestand. It's swept by, well, almost got swept by Minnesota. They won the last game, but going into that last game, they were down to 2.5 game lead. Floundering again near that 500 mark, and all of a sudden Bieber pitches the finale. They win, and they've taken off. They won 5 in a row, and
5-0 with a .52 ERA.
It can change in a hurry. Indians go in order. We go to the 7th. Cleveland 4, Detroit 1. Toyota dealers. Visit buyatoyota.com. Toyota, let's go play. Toyota dealers. Visit buyatoyota.com. Toyota, let's go places. And by the injury lawyers at Elk & Elk. Proud partners of the Cleveland Indians. Call 1-800-ELK, Ohio. 4-1 Cleveland. 7th inning. And Trevor Bauer's coming back out here for the 7th inning. They have double barrel action in the bullpen. He's at 106 pitches. 67 of those have been strikes. Naquin is now in center field. Lonnie Chisenhall is in right.
See if they give him a couple outs here in this inning. Or if he can get the first two quickly. See if he can get out of it. We'll see. That backed off Iglesias. He was bailing on that.
He sure was. Fouled right back. Yeah, and he got him looking at a curveball. Strikeout number 11 for Trevor Bauer.
At the plate now for the Tigers.
Well, he got him twice with that pitch. That's the hook he backed off on. And boy, oh boy, that thing has been lethal for him. It's the 3rd time this year he struck out 11.
In the hole, perfectly placed, and a base hit for Dixon Machado. And that's going to be it for Trevor Bauer, as he ends up going 6 1/3 innings here tonight. And he will leave after allowing his 5th base hit. But he strikes out 11. And his sellout crowd about him give him a nice send-off. Slate of games. It starts in the morning. England, Panama at 7 a.m. Eastern. That does not figure to be much of a match. England heavily favored in that game. FIFA World Cup tomorrow on Fox, or you can stream it all live on the Fox Sports app. One thing they're worried about tomorrow is the weather. It's supposed to reach 90 degrees in Russia.
Boy.
Imagine running out there. What do they run? What do they run, Gary? 2 hours straight?
Yeah, 90 minutes or something like that. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's not like they take timeouts and go get a drink of water either. You can't sub, can you? When you're out there, you're out there. That's it. Leonis Martin is 0 for 2. He was hit by a pitch in the second inning, and he takes a pitch down low. Oliver Perez deals, and it's fouled back out of play. This veteran left-hander has done a very good job of helping out, giving the bullpen a little bolster. Both he and Neil Ramirez. Outside corner. These Tiger hitters doing a lot of complaining.
Well, this guy can be tough on you because he'll change arm angles. He'll give you different locations. He'll slow it down. He'll speed it up. And you can see a lot of deceptions. Only 4 hits in his 7 innings pitch, giving up 1 run. Struck out 7.
Oliver Perez has inherited 10 runners. 2 have come home to score. Now the 2-2. And the count goes full. Martin is 0 for his last 10. He did reach in the second inning when he was hit by a pitch from Bauer. Ground ball to Lindor. He'll go to second. There's the force. 2 down. And that was well done. He made it look a lot easier maybe than what that play was.
1 and done is what it was. Just make sure you pick it up and give a good feed to your second baseman and you get the out. You're not going to turn a double play, so he went to the backhand side, and that's all you're looking for. Give me that 1 out. So they get the second out of the inning.
You could even see Oliver Perez in the middle of the diamond, sort of like traffic cops saying, "That's it. That's all we need. Don't throw it anymore."
Patience. That's right. That's knowing the situation. You're counting the outs now. That's what you need, 1 at a time.
Jeimer Candelario, he is 0 for 3, has struck out all 3 times tonight. Backed away. In the series, he's 0 for 7. 5 strikeouts.
He's a better hitter from this side of the plate. In 64 at bats, he's 19 for 64, so that comes out to a 297 average from this side of the plate. They were taking chances starting runners with Trevor on the mound, but not with a left-hander. You can't guess here. You can't afford any more outs, so they're going to stay put. They're going to have to get their share of hits.
The 1-0. There's a perfect pitch outside part of the plate.
Almost like a quick pitch there for him. See how quickly he delivered it, and other times he'll hold that front leg up as a hitter. He quick pitched him there, and he threw the fastball.
He varies it up.
Yes, he does.
Runner goes.
They had a
swing and a
great
miss,
jump.
and really no chance for Roberto.
No, he had a good jump, man. That is well deserved there. That stolen base.
Well, good jump, and he picked the right pitch because Perez gave him the high leg kick.
Yep. Well, he figured. You know what? He may have figured after he went quickly to home plate, he's going to give him a different look, and he did just that. So stolen base from our team.
But Perez has the hitter Candelario down on the count. Upstairs. See Perez barking at himself on the mound. Swung out and missed. He struck him out. 4 Ks for Candelario on the afternoon. And Oliver Perez gets out of it for the Tribe. A gem for Trevor Bauer here today. Close out this homestand against the Detroit Tigers. Adam Pletko will pitch for the Tribe. Indians Live kicks off our coverage at 12:30. First pitch just after 1. Swing into summer on Sports Time Ohio and Fox Sports Go, presented by Click It or Ticket. Bottom of the 7th inning. Bottom part of the order for the Indians. Roberto Perez, Eric Gonzalez, and then Francisco Lindor. Lewis Coleman, third pitcher of the game for Detroit.
He's coming on. This will be the 3rd game against the Indians this year. He's 1-0 against them with a 5.40 ERA, covering an inning and 2/3. He's given up 4 hits and 1 run. But in his career at this ballpark, they've hit him pretty well. He's 0-1 in 6 appearances. He's given up 4 runs on 5 hits and 4 2/3 innings. So see if they can add on again.
Roberto Perez is 0 for 2. Grounded into a double play his last time up. Missed outside. And Roberto's got himself in a good spot here, 3-1.
Hit with his first pitch and hasn't come close since. With a breaking ball or two away, and then the fastball, and he hasn't been close.
Eric Gonzalez waits on deck. And a ground ball right at the shortstop, Iglesias. You couldn't ask for a better hop. Like it kicked right into his breadbasket, right into his
service.
glove.
Room service.
Seriously, yeah.
Didn't have to leave any place, but take a step or anything.
One down, and here's Eric Gonzalez 0 for 2. He shoots it into center field for a single. Back in the 5th inning, Francisco Lindor.
Look at him get on top of that high cutter. And I mean, drove it to right field, right down the line. Look at that look.
You want to know the best part about that, boys? When we got over here, he asked me, he goes, were my eyes closed when I swung that? And I go, what do you mean? He goes, that was pure luck. I was just trying to foul that ball off because I didn't like that pitch.
And he got on it. That's hard to do.
I told him what you were saying, and he said, yeah. He goes, the cutter was getting up and in on me, and I wanted to foul it off, and boom.
He threw him a really good one where he fouled it off the pitch before that, Andre, and then that one it stayed up, but it was over, had a little too much of the play. But boy, tell him to try and foul off some more cutters.
I only tell that story because he hates talking about home runs and hitting home runs. But even that, when he came back and he says, that was just me trying to do my job, and it happened to hit the good part of the bat.
Yeah, I'll tell you, that's not an easy pitch to get on top of. It was fun. When I watched it live, I saw those hands come over the top, and that is special right there. Look at that.
I mean, and he was being honest. I was trying to foul it off. He got up, he got in my kitchen. He said, I don't like when guys get in there on me, and boom.
Nobody does.
I thought you like it when I get in your kitchen.
Well, I'll let you in my kitchen, but I don't want a pitcher getting in there.
Thank you, young man.
Swing and a miss. It's 2-1. That sort of reminds me of a story years ago. I think it was early 90s. Barry Bonds facing Lee Smith when Lee Smith was still at the top of his game, one of the best closers. Smith threw him 2 fastballs to start in at bat in the 9th inning with the game on the line, and Bonds said afterwards, I never saw either one of them. Just low, down at the knees, 2 strikes. He said, I'm in the hole. Next pitch, slider, hung it, hit it out for a game-winning home run. And he said afterwards, he throws me that fastball again, I'm dead.
Yeah.
I couldn't even see it, pick it up at all. But the slider spun,
slow it down,
up his bat, boom, game-winning home run.
Now to the plate for the Indians, number 23, Michael Bradley.
2 down here in the 7th inning. Mike Hegan told me a similar story to that.
Who was it? Was
Sam McDowell.
Sam McDowell, right?
He was throwing cheddar behind me. He said I didn't have a chance. And he tried to fool him with a changeup or a breaking ball, and he hit it out for a home run.
And that was a lefty against lefty there. Ooh, good pitch.
Most home run stories start out with, I wasn't trying to hit a home run, but.
You're right. And there, look at that pitch. That's pretty much a strike right there, folks. It's the toughest pitch to get called in there. You're right. It's when you don't try. When you try to hit one, you rarely, I mean rarely do.
Downstairs. This guy can't win tonight. He's got the Tigers mad at him. Now Brantley's just kind of smiling, saying, "Are you kidding me?"
Well, umpires, they have a tough job. And you know what? You can't win because if one guy doesn't like it, the other guys do. So you got a 50-50 chance. You're not going to please 100,
right.
believe me. And the men in blue, they got a tough job.
Brantley pops it up. And the left fielder Jones calls for it, makes the catch, inning over. We go to the 8th. It's Cleveland 4, Detroit 1. Presented by authority of the Cleveland Indians and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Cleveland Indians. Eighth inning. And the third pitcher of the night for Cleveland is Neil Ramirez. Oliver Perez worked 2/3 of a scoreless inning in the 7th. And now Ramirez on for the 8th. He's got the 3, 4, and 5 hitters due up. Castellanos has walked twice. Fly to right in the 3rd.
You know, the thing of it was, it looked like Trevor was being a little careful with Castellanos today. He didn't really go at him, you know, and try and get aggressive early and then maybe put him away.
Out of play, right side. It's 0-2. Castellanos in his last 11 games now, 6 hits in 41 at bats. with 11 strikeouts. And the Indians trying to keep him down for one more game after tonight.
Yeah.
Swung on and missed. Neil Ramirez strikes him out on 3 pitches. Storylines recap brought to you by your Ford dealers. Well, the Detroit Tigers have really been up against it when facing this Indian staff this year. And Trevor Bauer continued their futility at the plate tonight.
Well, it's not going to get any easier for the rest of the year. They know that. I think when you're playing a team that's in that division and you see these right-handers coming at you time and time and time again, they could be 0-6 in this ballpark if they don't come back tonight.
High, slicing, playable in fair ground. Michael Brantley, 2 down. Trevor Bauer now has faced the Detroit Tigers 4 times, and in 29 1/3 innings, he has struck out 40 batters and given up 4 runs. And he's got a chance to go to 4-0 on the year against Detroit. Nico Goodrum, 0 for 2, was hit by a pitch. Nico Goodrum, a swing and a miss. .95 up and away. Upstairs. 3-1 the count. Sellout crowd anticipating a fireworks show, though they may have to wait a little while.
They might, depending on how quickly this game gets over with.
3-1. And Nico Goodrum draws a 2-out walk.
Well, secure any of the great promo items coming up this season with a promo pass for an additional service fee. Promo passes ensure you get your item no matter what time you arrive at the ballpark. Just visit Indians.com/promo pass for the details.
James McCann 0 for 3 on the night. Swung on and missed. McCann 1 for his last 15 at the plate. Bauer struck him out in a key spot early in this game. Tigers had the bases loaded, 2 down in the first, trying to strike early, but McCann went down swinging. The Indians put 3 on the board in the bottom of the first, and that enabled Bauer to just kind of settle in, even though he had to work hard in those first 2 innings, throwing a lot of pitches, but he struck out 5 in the first 2, and then he locked in after that. Ramirez ready with the 0-2. Goodrum draws a throw. He has stolen 6 out of 7 on the year. And the 0-2 swung on and missed. Neil Ramirez strikes him out. He fans a pair here in the 8th. And the Indians maintain a 3-run lead. Our man Andre has been waiting all night to tell you this story.
Oh yeah, our guy Jesus Aguilar, former Tribeman, last night hit 2 home runs, and right there, boom! I was told as a youngster the highest form of flattery is imitation. So Jesus hit that one, and look who he was doing. He said after the game last night, I had to give a shout out and give some love to my man Jose Ramirez. That was the walk. When I showed this to Jose earlier today, Jose laughed and he says, "That's my brother. He learned it from the best." But Jose got a kick out of it. All the players got a kick out of it. And as some guys told me, he goes, that just shows you where Jose is at in his career. Guys want to be like him even when they're not still with the Cleveland Indians.
Why wouldn't you, the way he's been playing? He tees off high, down the line, long run. It is a foul ball. Castellanos disappeared from our view. And I looked down at first base umpire James Hoy and immediately threw up the hands.
Well, I'll tell you, he had a long way to go. He's playing a more in right center field, and you can see when that ball comes down, it didn't have the distance, wasn't close. But you'll see it bounces down into the corner. It was actually foul.
Joe Jimenez delivers, and it's low, 1-1.
He's done a nice job for the Tigers this year. 39th appearance, a 3-0 record, 204 Ernie. Opposition hitting just 205.
He's got a pretty good arm. Obviously,
Yeah,
he's done
he
97,
sure
98. He made his major league debut last year with the Tigers.
Well, he is pretty much their 8th inning guy, with Green being their closer. And, you know, he has good stuff, and he's just trying to keep it a 3-run game for Detroit, because the way this game started out, I'm surprised it's still just a 4-1 ball game.
The 1-2 downstairs. Indians trying to open up their biggest lead of the year in the Central Division. A win tonight would put them 7 games up. And a season high 9 games over 500.
Not biting on that slider down and in. He hit with the fastball in there, and then 2 times he tried to get him to go ahead and swing at that pitch down there, but Hosey did not do it.
Seventh pitch of the at bat, and he fouls it off. Again, the 3-2. And another foul ball. That's another thing Ramirez can do. He can make you throw a lot of pitches in an at-bat because he's got such a good eye now that he can take, and then he can just wait till the last second and spoil
He's
some
learning
pitches.
how to foul off pitches that, you know, to live for another pitch. He's really doing, and he's proven it this year. He's done a great job of it a number of times.
Ripped to left, but right at Jacoby Jones, who made the catch moving toward the line. 1 down. Stay tuned for Indians Live after the game. Presented by Conrad's Tire Express and Total Car Care. Alan Jensen will have the highlights. Break it down for you. And Jensen's got to be in all his glory because it's just pitching, pitching, pitching night after night. Fun to break it down when guys are zipping it the way they are.
It has been since last Sunday, no doubt.
Jimenez the 0-1 and a ground ball to short. Routine for Iglesias. 2 down. How about a Mike Bass, Jim Thome Hall of Fame moment? June 7, 1995 against the Tigers. Flip the bat. Good night, everybody. Thanks for coming. Drive safely. A scene that would become commonplace around baseball, but many believe it all started right here.
That team, the teams back then used to pummel guys when you'd hit one out. I mean, you'd come out, you'd have bruised ribs and lumps on your head.
But you never saw that, did you, before?
No.
Did it happen here? I mean, this is. It happens so often here.
I know it. It became commonplace.
Guys started going up there wearing flak jackets. Tyler Naquin fly to center, his only time up in the 6th. And the 1-1 is fouled back. A reminder, tomorrow afternoon, the series finale wraps up this great homestand. 1 o'clock right here on Sports Time Ohio. Adam Plutko, Matthew Boyd, another left-handed starter, back-to-back games. See if Tito goes with the same lineup.
Oh, I bet he does. Other than maybe Gomes will be behind the plate.
And the 1-2 will go to the ninth. Cody Allen will try to save it when we come back. Indians live set before the game. It's Sign Sunday. Bring your own sign or make one with the guys, and you could be on the Indians telecast tomorrow afternoon. You could bring your own crayons if you want.
And if
you could borrow some from Tommy Bell.
Just give us, let us know, and we'll get you some.
Cody Allen trying to save his 16th of the year. And he'll have the bottom third of the Tigers order. Jacoby Jones, Jose Iglesias, and Dixon Machado. Jacoby Jones is 2 for 3. He stole a base and scored the Tigers' only run back in the second inning. He takes a strike.
Yeah, and how he scored that run, it was a wild pitch that ended up getting him to third base when Trevor had an 0-2 count on Machado. Was able to get to third base and then scored.
Well, he scored on the wild pitch.
Yeah, or scored, right.
Yeah, remember, he stole second.
That's right.
Went to third on the fly ball and then got the wild pitch, got him home. The 0-2. Just a tad wide of the zone. Fouled right back. Swung out and missed. He struck him out with some high cheddar. One down in the ninth.
To the plate now for the Tigers, Number 1, Jose.
He just goes at him with a good fastball, and he gets a piece of it, but right into the glove of Perez and gets the first out via the strikeout. 15 strikeouts for Tiger batters tonight.
And a foul right back to the screen by Jose Iglesias, who is a good fastball hitter. And he's 1 for 3 on the night. At the knees, outside corner.
Now, so far tonight, this Cleveland pitching staff has 22 0-2-1-2 counts. You talk about pitching from in front of the hitters and making them work. They are doing just that. Carl Willis has to love it.
Pulls that foul. Cody Allen has averaged 70 appearances a year for the last 5 seasons. And you look at him here today, this is his 33rd game, and we're almost to the halfway point, so he's right on schedule.
Yes, he is.
2-2. Swung out and missed. He pumped it by him at 94, and there are 2 down on the night.
Just another good fastball. Swing through it. Right into the glove. So 2 strikeouts on 2 heaters for Cody Allen.
It really is, though, a testament to the individual and to the organization to be able to go out there year after year after year, 70 times each season, be reliable, be accountable, and be good. Because
stay healthy.
We know there have to be days where he walks in there and his arm's probably not feeling great at all. But he is going to work a 1-2-3 9th inning for his 16th save of the year. And the Indians run their win streak to 6 in a row. A season high 9 games over 500 as they move to 42-33 on the year. And they've opened up a 7-game lead in the American League Central Division. 4-1 is the final today. Francisco Lindor and the Indians came out roaring, scoring 3 in the first inning. Lindor added a homer in the 5th, and that was more than enough for Trevor Bauer and the Indians bullpen. 4-1 the final. We're back with the final thoughts right after this.